Hello everyone, it's Irma Elias. I'm back today to talk with you about more healthy things to do in order to turn back the clock. Today I'm going to discuss the Romanian deadlift. It's one of my favorite exercises. This exercise focuses primarily on your hamstrings and your glutes, but it also works on your rector spinning. Your hamstrings are comprised of three different muscles. One is the biceps femoris, one is the semitendinosus, and the other one is the semimembranosus. A number of you are right now, in order to build up your hamstrings, you're doing prone leg curls. Some of you do seated leg curls, but these work primarily on your quadriceps and your hamstrings exclusively. The great thing about the Romanian deadlift, and the reason why I love to do it, and I do it a lot, is because it's a really good exercise for my hip extensors as well. Okay, so when you're thrusting your hips forward, when you're lifting your barbell up, what it does at extension is it's hitting your glutes and your hamstrings. So, a lot of you ladies would love to lift your glutes and make them look more proud. This is the exercise for you. It's going to build up your hamstrings and your glutes. I like the Romanian deadlift a little bit more than I like the straight leg deadlift. As you all know, on YouTube and in formal papers, they're usually comparing the straight leg deadlift to the Romanian deadlift. They're essentially the same. There's really not any difference in the form, but the difference comes in where the bar is taken off the ground for the straight leg deadlift, and it is not taken off the ground for the Romanian deadlift. It never hits the ground. So that act of bending at the hips or hinging at the hips and bringing the weight down to the ground has the potential to cause your low back to go into spinal flexion. And when that happens, you could potentially tear your hamstrings, or you could even get a disc protrusion. And these are things that we want to avoid. So you're at a clear mechanical disadvantage doing the straight leg deadlift, even though I'm still going to teach you how to do that the proper way. And I just recommend that you do it lighter than you would a regular conventional deadlift. Anyway, the Romanian deadlift is a great accessory movement for powerlifters. What they're doing is they're looking to increase their back strength and their hip strength. Necessary to do heavy deadlifts, to do low bar squats, which I've taught in my last lesson, and greater isolation of the hamstrings and glutes, which I just mentioned. The Romanian deadlift uses the eccentric, or the loading portion of the movement. That's when you're hinging at the hip and you're going forward. And what it does is it stimulates that stretch reflex at the bottom of the movement. So when you feel that stretch, you know it's time to come up. When you feel that you can't stretch any further, you want that stretch reflex to help you bring the weight back up. So the best way to think about a Romanian deadlift is that you're lengthening when you're going down and you're contracting when you're coming up or you're lifting up. So that's it for now, and I'm going to demonstrate this movement so that you better understand the technique involved with the Romanian deadlift. We'll see in a few. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate the execution of the Romanian deadlift. The Romanian deadlift can start from one of two positions. You can just pick the weight up off the floor like a normal deadlift, or you can take it out of the squat rack. Set up the rack just above the knee level, below the deadlift lockout. Take the same stance and toe angle as you would in a regular deadlift. You are going to stand shoulder width apart, toes angled slightly out 7 to 9 degrees. Lift the bar as you would in a deadlift and allow the bar to rest along the front of your thighs. Lift your chest, brace your back, and pull your shoulder blades back and down, packing the lats to maintain full extension of the spine. Push your hips posteriorly, hinging at the hips. Keep your chin tucked, looking down as if you are holding an egg. This will help the cervical spine maintain a safe position during the movement. Do not hyperextend the cervicals by looking up. Soft knees. Knees do not travel forward. Allow the weight to lower toward the floor, letting the barbell slide down your thighs. Once the barbell passes your knees, continue reaching down to mid-shin. Don't pause at the bottom. The barbell should come down to mid-foot. Only lower the barbell till you cannot set your hips back any further. Stand back up by dragging the barbell up your legs without having your lower back round. If you feel your lower back rounding as you get to your end point, you have gone too far. At that point, I would suggest ending the eccentric part of your movement higher, just below the knees. Remember, the Romanian deadlift uses the eccentric or loading portion to create a stretch reflex at the bottom. You're going to lengthen, then contract. To return to standing, push both heels into the floor. Press the hips forward and lifting your chest up. Pull back on the knees while keeping a neutral, long spine. Do all this while keeping the bar over mid-foot. For a more enhanced movement, stand on a couple of bumper plates, either 5 or 10 pounds, under your toes for a more enhanced feeling of the hamstring stretch. Here, I am demonstrating doing the Romanian deadlift with dumbbells. You can use light weight or you can use heavy weight. That is up to you. But all the same rules apply. Okay, everyone. To conclude today's lesson, we learned all about the Romanian deadlift, proper technique and form, how powerlifters use it as an accessory exercise to strengthen their hamstrings and their glutes. And you guys can incorporate it on your off days from the deadlift. It will build your hamstrings and your glutes and stretch your back, strengthen your back, and keep you nice and strong and fit. That's what my channel is about, is finding ways to turn back the clock and basically try to stop the aging process or even reverse it. That's my hope and my wish for everyone, that you guys can find a happy, healthy place in your life, and that I can teach you proper exercises, proper eating, and ways to sleep and drink water and have proper posture is good, and just to emulate youth, strength, health, and happiness. You guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.